Hey, it's JC here at JC's Comics More, your pop culture superstore at 6725 West Central Avenue, it's Toledo, Ohio. It's 419-531-6097. Instagram at JC's Comics More, and then www.jcscomicsmore.com. See, we got the Ecto 1 out front, parked out in front of the shop today. Maybe they might be here on Free Comic Book Day in 2 weeks. We'll find out. But the purpose of this video is not to yammer about that. I've got some comics to talk about, not these old beat up Spider-Mans, but we're going to maybe talk about those later. I got some Daredevils. Had somebody buy some Daredevils the other day, so he was interested in some of these other ones, so I decided I better get these things priced up. Got number 21. This features Stan Lee, Gene Colan, and several other ones. Interesting thing about this one here, and I'll point it out, I looked in here. These are Marvel Comics, right? Well, it says Daredevil was published by Olympia Publications Incorporated. This came out in October of 1966, but does not mention Marvel Comics in here. That Marty Goodman's company, I think that he published stuff under different names. So we'll look at that. You'll get to see other changes before it actually says published by Marvel Comics. But this features the Owl. Very good early Gene Colan artwork. Features this Marvel superhero ad for the cartoons that came out in '66. Again, just great Gene Colan artwork. Daredevil has to take on a giant flying owl. And some of these comics do have different letters by different creators, people that have gone on to create comics. You could buy your own pet monkey for $18.95. Here's a Big Daddy Ed Roth ad for T-shirts. We've got this full page ad or splash page for the next issue. The great Marvel bullpen bulletins. These things are so great. If you get a chance, certainly always read these things. And then we've got a house ad for Fantastic Four Annual 4 and Amazing Spider-Man Annual 4, or as it was called out back then, King Size Specials. Now, as far as this issue here, there's really no one of any great interest as far as wrote in to Marvel. And then you've got a Norman Rockwell ad on the back. Got number 44. This has the Jester in it. Again, Gene Colan is involved, as well as Stan Lee and Vinnie Coletta. And also, I'd like to dedicate this video to my friend, probably one of the biggest Daredevil fans I know, Mr. James Bond. That is his name. Although he likes to be called Jim Bond, but he's certainly a good friend of mine, and I've given him a lot of crap over the years about Daredevil, especially the time Daredevil fought the Hoover Upright. I even sang made up a little Daredevil song that I used to sing that would really burn him a little bit. It's based on the Roadrunner cartoon. It would kind of go, like this, Daredevil, the bullseye's after you. Daredevil, if he catches you, you're through. Run, little Daredevil, run, Daredevil, run, Daredevil, bullseye's gonna get you too. And boy, he would just not like that. And I'd tell him the Kingpin would always get him and stuff. But he's a good sport about it. Again, you got these grid ads that are in here. I think that's a young Bernie Sanders right there. Again, these old comic book ads. Robert Bell, new comic books, new listings. You can have a He-Man's voice. Are you too skinny? You're too skinny. What? Eat more food. Again, you've got the Marvel bullpens here. You got Stan Soapbox. This is an early Stan Soapbox because this issue number 44 came out in September '68. So you get an early Stan Soapbox in here. It talks about Marvel Comics being a TV guide. Here we've got these ads. We've got a letter from Mark Gruwald. Of course, Mark went on to write and be a big part of Marvel up until his untimely death. But Mark Gruwald, see again, there's lots of history in these comics. And then you got a great house ad here for Hulk King Size Annual #1 by Steranko. He battles the Inhumans. That thing is just so great. Go from there to Daredevil #48. Again, Gene Colan. You got the Stiltman. That's somebody else that my friend Jim would sort of bust him about as Stiltman. And then also Jim, his favorite Daredevil villain of all time is Copperhead. If you know Jim, certainly bring that up. Copperhead is Daredevil's favorite. That's his favorite Daredevil villain because he put pennies on their eyes. You have Marvel pillows. Of course, you got Marvel sweatshirts. He goes underneath the car. You got Karen Page. Karen Page just came back. She was gone. And boy, Daredevil puts a lip lock on her. Pretty deep. Really deep on that. Got these great artwork. Look at this great splash page there. Hornhead taking on the Stiltman. They made the Stiltman into a joke a lot of years, for several years, but he was no joke to Daredevil back then. Here he talks about what would he do without these flapping flagpoles. Another great splash page. Another Robert Bell ad. You can see it has changed. Again, you've got the soapbox from Stan. Great stuff. Full page ads for Master of Karate. And we look here, and there's really no one of great interest as far as writing letters. But here's something interesting. As I pointed before, we had Daredevil published by the Olympia. What was it now? I'm going to have to open this back up. Olympia Publications now is published by Perfect Film and Chemical Corporation. But it also has copyright 1968 Perfect Film and Chemical Corporation Marvel Comics Group. So they're starting to put Marvel Comics Group in there. But printed in the USA by World Color Press in Sparta, Illinois. So Sparta has been publishing comics for quite a while. But Perfect Film and Chemical Company. Google that. Issue number 52 of Daredevil, Night of the Panther. This features some rare Barry Smith artwork in Daredevil. And this also is now published by Magazine Management Company. Magazine Management Company, Marvel Comics Group. Johnny Craig also inked this. This is now written by Roy Thomas. This is early 52nd Smash issue. This is an early Black Panther crossover. If you're a fan of Black Panther, you should certainly have this. Cops thought that he was Daredevil and he's one of the Avengers, the one they call the Black Panther. And if that's settled, officer, your flashlight, please. Sorry, Avengers, that's better. I prefer darkness to light. Again, talks to little cameos by the Avengers in here. Here we got a house ad for Marvel Superheroes featuring Doctor Doom and Marvel Tales, a reprint of Amazing Spider-Man with Spidey taking on the Spidey Slayer. And J. Jonah Jameson, because Jonah, that's just how he rolls. Got Karen Page. She almost gave away Daredevil's secret identity there. Here he calls the Panther a tiger. And Panther tells him, "We're not that high, my friend." But it's April 20th. Look at this great splash page here. Imagine if you had this page, this original artwork, what you could sell that for. What, $10, $15, $20,000 or more? So somebody out there maybe, hopefully has that page. Hopefully it wasn't destroyed. And there, look at that Robert Bell ad now. He must be raking over some cash selling comic books. Got the Blizzard, the Answer. Again, got the Stan soapbox. And we look on here. Again, no one in this issue. So, let's move on to the next one. Let's try and burn through these a little bit faster. Number 55. He's fighting Mr. Fear. Mr. Fear is convinced him he's a coward. And this is still magazine management. Here, he gets blasted by when Big Pete whacks him, and they stay whacked. And Daredevil's all scared, don't hit me, not again. Save me, Spider-Man, save me. Again, Stan's soapbox. How can Thor be fighting a litter bugs with Nick Fury when he's outer space with Wynken, Blinken, and Nod in his own mag? Mr. Fear, who perhaps George may have inadvertently based the Taskmaster off of. Because if you look at this image right here, at first glance you think that's the Taskmaster. And Robert Bell's ad has shrunk. Went up and it shrunk a little bit. Here's a house ad for Sergeant Fury and his Holland Commandos, number 69, and Nick Fury, Agents of the Shield, number 14. And you see the karate ad has shrunk. And here looking at get Martin Pasco, who went on to write for DC. So he wrote into Marvel. Daredevil number 57, Unmasked at Last. So Karen Page finds out that Daredevil is Matt Murdock, or Matt Murdock's Daredevil. You got Roy Thomas, Gene Colan. Again, this issue is not the greatest. But again, great stuff here. Got an ad for the Super Saturday on ABC. Get to see what cartoons we used to watch. He's fighting Death's Head. Again, you look at the ads, nobody of great note. But again, they talk about how women don't read comics. There's Shirley, and then there's Mrs. Trish. I'm sure they would disagree that women do certainly have read comics for many decades, as long as there have been comics. So Marvel tried to tell you that women don't read comics, while they're lying. Here's where Karen Page finds out that Matt Murdock is Daredevil. Matt Murdock is live. What more am I dialing? Matt Murdock is Daredevil. Next, the decision. Little tear in that page there. No pun to Karen Page. Issue number 67. Fighting the Stiltman once more. Again, great Karen Page. You've got a plot by Roy Thomas. Scripted by Gary Frederick. Inked by Sid Shores. One of these that will let you know when Sid passed away. You got the Marvel bullpen pages. It's got some folds to the back covers there. We got Stan's soapbox. Talks about Steve Ditko leaving, and it talks about Jack Kirby leaving. So it did, announce when Jack Kirby was leaving, and also does have a house ad for Conan, the Barbarian, that precedes Conan 1. Here we got issue number 69 with the Black Panther, the Salva Summer cover. But you got Gene Colan doing the artwork on the inside. So Daredevil and the Panther once again teaming up. So again, if you're a Panther fan, certainly something to get. But what's really cool about this issue, and in several of these Daredevil issues, you've got this Joe Werder ad with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is early Arnold Schwarzenegger appearances. People should buy these copies and go get them signed by Schwarzenegger. It'd probably freak his mind out. And he'll tell you about what he did to that girl that night. They probably had a great time. For whatever reason, they decided to split the pages up with the, rather than put them full pages with the ads. It's hard to say why they did that. DC did that for a short period of time also. Computer programmers, see, they were talking about computers way back in the 60s. Alter Ego, the magazine is published now. Who knew it had its origins back in the early 60s? Again, you've got the Stan Soapbox. You've got a house ad for Cap 131 with Bucky Reborn, or is he? And that's it for this particular, well, actually, this letter here, Jim Woodron. I wonder if this is the same Jim Woodron who does Frank in the River. It's very possible. I think he's from Chicago. So a Jim Woodron cover, or art page and art letter in there, which is very rare. Again, this is some cool stuff looking at this here. You don't get this in the trade paperbacks. Daredevil number 70. Again, Gene Colan, Gary Frederick. Go through this rather quickly. This isn't any big issue or anything. Got an ad for the Marvel plastic figures that came out way back then. The Tribune. Again, you've got this double splash page there with its the panels are split up.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how you doing today? Got a house ad for king size special with the Submariner and for the Avengers 4, and I think that's Submariner 1. Talks about John Buscema, big John Buscema taking over the art on Thor as Neil Adams filled in while Jack left. Here we got a house ad for Amazing Spider-Man number 91. And again, you've got a Marty Pasco letter in there. Of course, he went on to write for DC, and then you got a Mike W. Barr letter in here. So this has two letters by two great creators. We've got Daredevil number 76 here. Gary Conway took over as writer. He's a writer now. Gene Colan, Tom Palmer. Again, you've got the Arnold Schwarzenegger ad. Like I said, the Arnold ads are here quite often. In fact, some of them are on the back pages. Again, you've got this double page spread. You've got the Robert Bell. So you don't be fat. Next issue had Spider-Man in it. You got Stan's Soapbox. There you got Thor 188, John Buscema. That's a house ad. Stan and Big John break it up in the latest Landmarker issue. I'm going to pause this quickly so I can go help the people that came in. Okay, the battery ran out for the last one. So here we are. I'm going to try to do this, and this will probably end up being maybe 2 videos then, or see how quickly I can get through this video. But you got a great Gil Kane cover, Gary Conway, Gene, Sid Shores, speaking about the Black Widow, Madame Natasha, and Gene Colan did stuff like this here, just hinted at as she's getting undressed, but the hair is strategically placed. Her secrets are her own. Got Foggy Nelson. He's in there. I believe that he's a DA now. Natasha's calling Matt because they still get that thing going on. He flies out to see her in Switzerland, and then things pick up right where they used to be. All right, you go, Daredevil. Got a great splash page there. Robert Bell ad. He's fighting the villain. Natasha shows up. New surprise. From the sounds of things, I may have come too late. I knew it. You started the party without me, Daredevil. Black Widow, you here? Oh, he knows. She knows. He came too late. And, of course, Stanley's Soapbox. And you've got this here. This is, out of all the letters in here that we've seen Jim Woodron. That's a very cool letter. We've seen Mark Gruwald. And look who this letter is from. Mr. Fred Hembeck. If you're not sure who Fred Hembeck is, most comic people, real comic fans, probably do know. If you don't, look it up. Look up Fred Hembeck. Fred's a great, great artist, and his stuff is so funny. I love Fred Hembeck stuff. I'm going to have to ask Fred about that on his Facebook page, if he remembers writing that letter. Here we have number 85. Fury at 15,000 feet. The Gladiator strikes again. You've got a Gil Kane cover. Again with Jerry, Sid, and Gene. He's flying back. They're on a luxurious 747. And of course, you know that bad stuff is going to happen in there. Of course, Black Widow always seems to have her outfit right under her street clothes. I don't think you could do that these days as far as flying. Look, you can get 14 hit albums for $2.86. There she is. This almost looks like Aunt May. It is. It's Aunt May. There, the Gladiator. You're the Gladiator. You're always good, pretty good with faces, pretty boy. Get Karen Page. Old Hornhead trying to take out the Gladiator. Finds out somebody has some plastic explosives wrapped around them. They're going to blow up the jet. Gladiator always underestimates Daredevil. Look, there's an attack ad. And he gets back. He's with Natasha. He's spending some time with her, special time with her, and got good memories. He comes back, and then there's Karen Page, and man, he's jumped to the blonde. Black Widow is all disappointed, but he's in blonde kingdom now. Stan Soapbox, Spider-Man 106 versus the Spider Slayer. And in the letters pages, no one in particular. But look, there's an Arnold Schwarzenegger ad. There he is. There's the Arnold. And then again, he's got the motto that I'm sure that they got to know each other very, very well after that. Got number 86 here with the Ox. And it's still published by Magazine Management Company. They're watching TV, trying to let you know the black and white. It's black and white TVs back then. Here he's turning into the Ox. There you can get your records. There's Karen hanging out with Matt and his Billy Club. Oh, there's Black Widow crying again because she used to like Matt and Daredevil and him using that Billy Club. And he's taking on the army. The Ox is he's just cutting through and just destroying things. And there he is. He changes back. And there, Karen now leaves Matt. And Matt goes back to the Black Widow. Man, that guy is he just hops off one train and onto another. Again, we look at the letters pages. Cool letters, but nothing of any interest. And then, of course, you got Schwarzenegger once again. Arnold's bringing up the rear. We've got Daredevil number 87. This has Electro in it. And I believe it's a Sal Buscema cover. Maybe John with Sal Inks. And again, you got Gary, Gene, Tom Palmer. They're back in San Francisco. It's she bought that in her inheritance. And old Hornhead's in the city by the bay. And look, Schwarzenegger decided to show up a little early this time. For whatever reason, Gene Colan decided to change Electro's costume, and it was not for the better. Not for the better. That's pretty awful. Maybe he wasn't really sure what Electro's costume was supposed to look like. Because look at that. On the front you could tell, but there that was really, really bad. There you got that boy selling grit. Got the Black Widow. Again, she just drops her. Good thing that she's always got the costume on. What if she doesn't have the costume on? Boy, would she be surprised. There's Electro. And he's able to take down Electro. A lot of Spider-Man villains end up going over to Daredevil and fight him for a while. Electro, Craven, the Scorpion all went over there. And this issue here has a circulation data in it. And also talks about Luke Cage coming out. Let's see, circulation numbers. Let's see if we can see some of these numbers here. Paid circulation, 199,872. Single issue, 204,798. Looks like they printed up 327,000, but still selling almost 200,000 copies, or over 200,000 copies. No book sells that consistently anymore. They might for the first issue if it's a Marvel, because they'll ram and they'll push their variant covers down your throat, but that's it. Okay, got Electro again. You look on the front, Electro's in his classic costume, his cool costume, and Gene Colan on the inside. So I need to tell Gene, hey man, that's not how you draw the Electro. See, there he is again. You got Stan's soapbox. She's crying again, probably has to do with Matt. Matt Murdock, make the ladies cry. You can tell that she's been crying. And they're getting ready to spend some quality time together. Next day, he's having some milk. Get some electrolytes. There she is in her negligee. If Matt could see the widow at this moment, yeah, if he could see the widow at this moment. That Missy is a man called Electro. That great splash page there. It's just too bad that Electro doesn't look like he should. Again, the letters page, nothing of great interest. People that love the books, but nobody that went on to continue. And you got Kilgrave in here. Kilgrave, the Purple Man. Where he's actually purple, because that's why they call him the Purple Man. Issue number 90 next. Daredevil says, help me, Widow, I'm falling. I can't, I want to, I can't. Fear is the man. So Mr. Fear, I guess, is back. There she's falling. You got this great double page spread. He saves her. And then you got a little bit of an origin issue of the Black Widow in here. You get to see this here. She says, and it was then I think I truly began my career as a spy and gained the name the Black Widow. But of course, writers these days ignore these stories. Widow was a fashion designer for a while. There she goes after Matt again. Again, the letters pages, nobody of note in there. Had somebody come in, so we're going to pause this, and I'm going to go help them, and we'll be back. Okay, Okay, we've got Daredevil number 88 here. Number 90 was the last one they did, but I went and got the number 88. This is being priced up for a customer, so I'm actually glad that he wasn't able to buy it at that time, so we can talk about this one quickly. Has Kilgrave, the Purple Man, of course, comes back. And again, of course, Gene Colan, Gary Conway, and Tom Palmer. So try to burn through this one rather quickly. And then, of course, you've got a Arnold Schwarzenegger ad in this one. As Arnold, man, he was the plowman all over the place back then. Here's Kilgrave. I'm not sure why he's not colored purple yet in that. It could be maybe the colorist didn't realize the Purple Man should be purple. Of course, it was, I guess, in issue number 4 before he showed up. So Purple Man's not been around in that time. And then there's Danny French, who we saw the Widow had a connection with. And we look at the letters pages here. And again, nobody of any great interest. So let's set that one aside so that can get priced up for Mr. Jim. And we'll move on to issue number 91. This number 91 has this back cover here, which has these folds in it, which I'm sure somebody that has them pressed can help take that out. But again, has Mr. Fear. This has a Gil Kane cover. Almost looks like John Romita inks on it, but Gil Kane. And again, you've got the Widow there. Roy Thomas is the editor. And they're always fighting with each other too, like lovers do. Big old Stan soapbox there. You can certainly read that, or maybe go over to our Instagram at JC's Comics and More. I'll have to take a picture and put it on the Instagram if you want to be able to read that. There's Mr. Fear, or is it Taskmaster? Drew Friedman. I wonder if that might be the same artist. Maybe like kind of an underground artist. Maybe, maybe not. And that's about all there is in that issue there. But issue number 92. Again, Gil Kane. Actually, looks like Gil Kane, but also looks like Gene Colan. Maybe it's Gene Colan with Gil Kane inks. Look at that Corvette. Coming soon, beware the claws of the cat. Doc Savage, the Gunhawk's Man Thing, Journey to Mystery number 1. So this is kind of not a very action-packed or important issue. It's just a good, solid issue. And again, women do write and do read comics, despite what certain groups would like you to think. Black Panther shows up again in there. That he was dressed as Daredevil. Superheroes do that from time to time. So this is a very, probably rare, not very well known appearance of the Black Panther. A very short cameo there. Good, issue number 95. This is certainly a Gil Kane cover. There's Black Widow in it, of course. And there's the ox, or the man bull, and he's all slobbering and stuff, because bull slobber. There's another cool card, another cool 70s muscle car. This old man. Oh, Widow's crying again. She's always crying. And he's slobbering again. Look at him. Slobber, slobber, slobber. And look at this. Look at this. We talked about the Barry Smith splash page, what it might go for. What do you think this Gene Colan splash page went for? Probably 10, 15, 20,000 easily, right? Easily. Letters page, no one of that went on to become creators in the industry. Again, slobbering. And she's all mad because she thinks that that Matt was shot and killed. Number 96, this issue is badly water damaged. Badly water damaged. Cane cover, you got Ernie Chu doing the inks on this, which really, to me, just improved it greatly. They're getting ready to perform surgery, take his mask off, and tell him that you can't do that because he has the mask on for a reason. Here she's getting ready to put the moves on him. And he's just in surgery and already he's back in action. Man without fear, man without brains. And that's it for this issue. We're going to pause this. I got some customers that came in and I got the phone. Thanks. Okay, here we got Daredevil 104. As I stated earlier, we got some Spider-Man villains came over here, and here you have Kraven. Great Gil Kane cover. Don Heck doing the artwork on this. This page is dedicated to my good buddy Rich Savage. That he's the biggest Don Heck fan I know. This is for you, buddy. I know you're gonna just be loving this. A very shapely Black Widow. Kraven doesn't look too bad. He means business as always. He's always in for the hunt. And there's a nice little dig at DC here. Calls him Bawana, which DC had a character Bawana Beast. So it's certainly a dig at DC. Here the Widow is tied down, and those elephants are ready to trample her to death. But Daredevil catches her just in time. Here's an ad for Crazy Magazine, which was their way of competing with Mad Magazine. Kraven smashes in, and big fight with Daredevil ensues, and Kraven puts the kibosh on Daredevil, and he's getting ready to throw Daredevil over the side. Daredevil's thinking, "Save me, Spider-Man! Save me! Save me, Spider-Man!" Here we got full page ads for Foom, and again you've got the ads. Nothing in the ads. You've got a house ad for Marvel Spotlight number 12 with the Son of Satan. Interesting thing about the Son of Satan here, if you look at his hand here, he's throwing the horns. I would have to say maybe this is the first appearance of somebody throwing the horns. Not Ronnie James Dio, certainly not Gene Simmons or anyone else. This is where they're throwing the horns up. That's where that came from, the heavy metal people. Son of Satan is the one that helped throw those horns. Got Daredevil 106. It's got a John Romita cover on it. Try and get through this quickly. You've got Moondragon there. Don Heck is once again doing the art on this. Life Not Be Proud. And you look at this here. Let's check the previous issue. Okay. Okay. As you can see here, it is now published by Marvel Comics Group. This is where it finally showed up there. After several issues not having it on there. What's up there, Greg? So your Ecto 1 there.
Yeah.
Just finished up this video on talking about Daredevil. We've got this green behemoth there, not the Hulk, and it's not Swamp Thing, it's not Man Thing. You got these great cars that you could buy. You got Moondragon there. That she changes so Daredevil, Matt Murdock, he can see. So he could see slightly. Here we've got some ads for some Tales of the Zombie and Dracula Lives. And in the letters page, again, no one that became a creator. Let's see. Again, you got this hulking creature running around you. And where's the bullpen page at? This here, we talked about Sid Soares. Sid did some of the inking in some of the earlier issues. This talks about his passing on Sunday, June 3rd, 1973. And Bill Everett had died just a month or two earlier. So very, very sad. But Marvel would honor those that had passed away. We've got a Spider-Man medallion coin. And Daredevil tells her, you have to make me blind once again. So let's move on to the next one. We've got issue 108 here with the Beetle. Again, a Spider-Man villain. Of course, he fought the Human Torch as well. And you got a great Romita cover. I think Romita did the artwork there. You got Bob Brown. You got the Great Black Widow, just in her very skin-clad suit. The Daredevil punches somebody in the throat. Now you can get 11 8-track tapes for $1.97. And you got Bernie Sanders selling grit. Widow's all mad. She's, boy, you don't want a redhead mad at you. There she is. Matt, she wishes Matt was taking care of her there. But she's crying, and she's mad because Foggy Nelson, he must have put some bad moves on her or something. But you look at this here on this letters pages here. I'm going to have to look at this in the mirror, but if you look at this, it's backwards. Look at that. Check that out. Somebody's being clever or something. And then this also features the first Marvel stamp. It has the Man-Thing Marvel stamp. It's not giant size, but it is the Man-Thing. So he's all, it's all shaggy and it's all, stuff coming off it and everything. So, there you go. You got your Marvel value stamp for that issue, the Man-Thing. There he is fighting the Beetle. The Beetle shows up at the end. There's another Marvel bullpen bonus page. You're taking on the Beetle, and it also gives you a plug that to check out Marvel 2-in-1 number 3 with the Thing and Daredevil. You've got issue 109. It's a Gil Kane cover. Got the Necra, High Priestess of Death in there. Bob Brown doing it. Don Heck doing the inks. You got these medallion coins that I wish I had. This is cool. This is double page splash. Talks about his costumes and the weaponry of Daredevil. We're going to have this on the shop's Instagram page. So certainly go to the shop's Instagram page. Once again, it's JC's Comics and More to check that out. And also I have it on the shop's Facebook page. There's the Marvel value stamp for this issue, number 52, Quicksilver. And again, you do have a circulation, so you can check out the circulations. And it talks about Daredevil going back from a bi-monthly to a monthly status. And this guy here looks like he's Brandes from old Brandes Ford here in Toledo. If you're from Toledo, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, well, sorry. And again, you got the Beetle. Man, he's just sucked up a lot of money. And you have in here the return of Shanna the She-Devil. And again, talks to you about the Marvel 2-in-1 that you need to check out. Okay, we've got 2 more left here. This is the last regular issue, number 110. This is the Romita cover. You got the Thing and Daredevil coming back. This took place right before Marvel 2-in-1 number 3. Let's see. Let's get through this. You got Shanna. Shows you how to teach you how to do karate. The Mandarin's in there. The Mandrill. You got Marvel value stamp number 51, which is Bucky. And let's see. You've got John Burns, Ralph Macchio, who went on to work for Marvel, wrote in this here. And then also, whenever they would raise their prices back then, they would kind of apologize. Hey, man, sorry we had to raise prices. These days, they just raise prices and, sucks to be you. Here's a house ad for giant-sized thrillers with a daughter of Dracula. You almost could almost say with the relationship they had, it's almost like Ivana and Donald. You got the origin of the Mandrill and the origin of Necra, and how she was bullied and became a supervillain. So don't bully people; they become supervillains. They want to take over the world. There's an ad for Crazy. You got Shaft that they're making fun of, and then you got a Conan, Savage Tales with Conan. That's it for these. Now we do have an annual king size special, and right there. It has a Salva Summer cover. This reprints a couple of Wally Wood classics. And this is a rare one here because Wally helped to, that he scripted this issue with the anti-men. We're going to get through this quickly. And also let you know, if you do like these videos, do subscribe. And if you do subscribe, there's Alter Ego. Do subscribe. Certainly hit that bell for notification, because you just never know what's going to come up. Like this Monday, after 6 o'clock, at some point, I'm going to have a video talking about what JC's Comics and More, your pop culture superstore, is going to be doing for Free Comic Book Day. Here it talks about how Wally Wood got the writing out of his way, so he's going to let poor Stan finish it up. And sure enough, Stan had to write the next issue. Wally just, he didn't even pencil it. He just inked it. You had Bobby Powell came on board. But you could certainly tell that Wally Wood inked it, that he was involved right there. You can tell that right there. That's Wally Wood headlights. There you got Frogman, you've got the Anti-Man, Birdman. There's those Spider-Man or those Marvel, cool Marvel statues that you can get. And we're just about done with this here. But that's it for these videos. Again, if you like these videos, certainly subscribe. And when you do subscribe, be sure to smash that bell for notifications. Other than that, thanks for watching. Take care.